You carry more computing power in your pocket than entire governments possessed a few decades ago. AI can write software, design proteins, and translate almost every major language. Medicine may soon grow replacement organs from your own cells. So why does the future feel less like a miracle and more like a crisis? We are as gods offers an unsettling answer. Our tools have become exponential. Our minds have not. Your brain receives billions of bits of information every second, but conscious attention can process only a tiny fraction. Listening to one person already consumes much of that bandwidth. Add messages, markets, wars, algorithms, climate warnings, and AI-generated noise, and your prediction system begins to fail. When you cannot explain the world, you do not become neutral. You become anxious. You cling to familiar beliefs. You notice threats. You interpret acceleration as collapse. The paradox is that humanity may be entering an age of abundance while psychologically experiencing an age of siege. Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler have spent years studying exponential technologies, entrepreneurship, peak performance, and human adaptation. Their argument is deliberately optimistic, sometimes aggressively so. But this book deserves attention because it asks a harder question than whether technology will improve. Can human beings psychologically survive their own success? The book's first bold claim is this: you cannot understand a radically new world with an old mental map. Humans make the unfamiliar understandable through analogy. We call genes code, the internet a web, and the brain a computer. These comparisons do more than simplify, they expand what we can imagine. But when change becomes too fast, analogy breaks down. The authors point to the explosion of superhero stories. In the 1970s, only a handful reached major screens. Between 2000 and 2010, there were around 60 superhero films and 30 television series. Their interpretation is psychological. As ordinary people acquire powers once reserved for gods, culture produces new myths to explain them. And when even those myths fail, we imagine the apocalypse. That gives you a practical test. When a new technology frightens you, ask two questions. What familiar thing am I comparing it with? And where does that comparison stop working? AI is not simply a faster employee, just as the automobile was not merely a quicker horse. A weak analogy hides the future. A better one reveals it. But seeing abundance clearly does not mean pretending it is harmless. The second claim is more important. Abundance is not utopia. It is a problem-generating machine. New York once faced a crisis created by horse-powered prosperity. More transport meant more horses. More horses meant mountains of manure. The automobile solved that problem within decades. Then the solution created air pollution, oil dependence, congestion, and eventually a climate crisis. This is the abundance paradox. Solving one scarcity often creates another. Social media made communication abundant and attention scarce. Ultra-processed food made calories abundant and metabolic health scarce. AI makes intelligence cheaper, but may make trustworthy information, independent thought, and meaningful work harder to find. The book's darkest illustration is Universe 25. In 1968, researcher John Calhoun placed mice in an environment with plentiful food, water, shelter, and no predators. The population rose to roughly 2,200. Then social behavior collapsed. Some mice became violent, others withdrew, reproduction stopped. The colony eventually died. The experiment does not prove that human society will follow the same path. Humans are not mice, and its interpretation remains controversial. But the metaphor is powerful. Remove every external struggle, and meaning does not automatically appear. So, when evaluating a new technology, do not ask only, what does this solve? Ask, what becomes scarce after it succeeds? That question leads to the book's real subject, not abundance itself, but the kind of person capable of living inside it. The third claim is the book's most practical. In the age of godlike tools, your competitive advantage is not efficiency, it is agency. The authors argue that creativity, purpose, play, flow, and collaboration are not soft virtues. They are survival technologies. Consider Pixar. It began as a struggling hardware company selling an expensive image computer that almost nobody wanted. Its small animation team originally made short films merely to demonstrate the machine. The hardware failed. The stories succeeded. Pixar stopped optimizing the tool and reimagined its purpose. Toy Story followed, and animation changed permanently. That is what creativity does when the old map fails. It does not merely solve the existing problem. It changes the question. This also explains the book's warning about AI. Do not outsource your soul. Use AI to challenge your thinking, not replace it. Let it criticize your draft, but preserve the first spark. Let it accelerate research, but still read, judge, and connect the ideas yourself. The sharper the machine becomes, the more deliberately you must train the mind using it. One practice is surprisingly simple. Protect periods of complete concentration. Remove notifications. Define one clear goal. Choose a task slightly beyond your current ability. That is where flow becomes possible. Another is play. AI predicts the probable. Play explores the strange. It asks, what if, without demanding immediate usefulness. In a world optimized by machines, purposeless exploration may become one of the most purposeful things humans can do. So why, in an age of miracles, do we not feel like gods? Because power arrived before wisdom. Technology expanded faster than our stories. Institutions, attention, and sense of purpose could adapt. We are as gods is sometimes too confident about the technologies it celebrates. Its forecasts may age unevenly, but its central warning is difficult to dismiss. The final bottleneck on the road to abundance may be us, not our intelligence. Our ability to choose what deserves attention, what gives life meaning, and what should never be delegated. The next time AI saved you an hour, do not ask only what else you can produce. Ask what the hour is for. Godlike tools will not decide whether abundance becomes progress or decay. The people using them will.